Hey, fellow royals. So yes, I took a dip earlier. It has been amazing as well too. And as I often love to do is enjoy the water, the sunlight, and everything radiant outside, with the birds chirping, hearing the waves crash. And it's something that I must do because I live amongst the water. So it's always enjoyable and also something really amazing to be able to live in paradise. All right. So I shared 2 videos earlier. It is really cool to be able to allow my fellow royals to have a bit of insight on my whole purpose and direction and reasons for doing certain things. All right, so there is nothing that is done that is in an empty-minded space or intention or possibly a potential like unintentional misdirection. I would not do that or anything of the sort. And even if I should be off the track, it's always good to say, well, all right, hey Trinity, or hey Tanika, okay, charter the course here. I see you drifting a little bit. I always welcome these things, okay, fellow royals. And what I would like to share a bit of insight on is because persons have asked about the Trinitarian Order. When I share it and such, it is just for me to expand on it a bit more when I refer to it being a political fundamental moving ahead as a solution to step away from recycling the same system of traumas that has been repeated from electoral season after season after season. And what I have realized is that whilst around in the political scope, I had the experience of being in the political scope for a bit around like politicians, observing how the whole conversations have been like, their approach towards speaking and communicating with the people, as well as also doing a bit of writing in ways in which you could communicate to the beings and such. And it is really amazing. Now, what I also have observed as well thereof is that regardless of these things, when it comes to the placement after the electoral tenure and and a body of whichever organization is successful and they are placed in their departments of operations, it's either returns to the same system of operations or it is very much not as flexible, where much of a difference in the type of governance style is transformed and changed more or less. So this is where I've realized that perhaps what I will do is self-study democracy, understand the fundamentals of democracy, because it has been the system of operation utilized to truly govern the nation, govern the country, and even the people utilize that system as their right to place or support or even contribute towards towards positioning beings for the management of our affairs at large. All right, so we have got to this time frame where we utilize this approach where it is referred to as electoral votes and such. And what I know as well too is that we are a republic, and with the republic, we the people are the ones in the highest justice order as the individual beings, as a collective being, as well too as we are the nationals of our nation. So Trinitarian Order speaks on the divine protection and the utilization of the natural law. The reason why I mention natural law is because of the truth that we are all natural to nature, and it is true our birthright, which is our natal jurisdiction as the living being, to be able to flow and seek all legitimate justice through this capacity as well too. To seek all legitimate justice through this capacity as well, and this is why I introduced it whilst at the constitutional reform, when the National Association of Trinidad and Tobago has hosted a meeting here in last April. Okay, yes, I have read the Constitution that is there. A number of times I've read it. And what I've also known is that there are things that are a bit flawed against the actual living being, which is who I am. I am the living being in the living form. I am here in each sunrise and sunset in the breath of life in that scope. All right. So in the protection of the living being, the corporate constitution that is formulated doesn't necessarily protect us in the best applicable way. However, with its existence I have also introduced the Trinitarian Order as a system to solve the solution of repeating a traumatic cycle from season to season. And I've seen where as well too, where we have global leaders also moving away and stepping away from this style of governance and actually making way to utilize a system order that is going to solve or issues that has been increasing the crime, that has been increasing the tension amongst nations, and every other geopolitical issue as well too, aside from what is just in local politics, and or socioeconomical strengths at hand. All right. So the Trinitarian Order is the system to where it is the answer as a solution. To me, it is my contribution as a solution towards stepping away from just being in the corporate governance state, powers and capacity, when I know as well the natural law and natural governance exists truthfully, and we have that opportunity to utilize it as it helps to return to a restoration of protection and security to myself, my fellow beings who are sovereigns, and also the Republic of our nation. Now, democracy, as I have known, with the parents being socialism and capitalism, we have a system approach where it is either democratic social or democratic capital. So, as I have observed how the style of governance has been in Trinidad, my fellow sister Isle Trinidad, it has been that more of which a democratic capitalist kind of scope style of governing. And this is where, through these loopholes, we've had many corruption where the actual people are not able to know certain things, are not able to even gain their legitimate justice when it comes to the security of resources, when it comes to security of opportunities, as well as even of finances or economical growth as well. Even our wealth restoration when it comes to our assets and our land, estate security as well. So with these loopholes, we've had officials taking advantage of it and also enslaving our people mentally and even spiritually. The reason why I say spiritual as well, because once you damage the mind, it also injures the spirit of the flow, as in the fluidity of operating throughout. It increases depression, it increases any bit of low vibration energy when you always feel as if you are boxed in. And this is issues that has been occurring season after season. When I look at the scope of the system style here in Alubera, also known as Tobago as well, which is more of a democratic socialist, it has its capitalist existence, yet it's more socialist to the sense where it is more of a who know you kind of identity culture when it comes to opportunities and such. And it shouldn't be that case where the system of that is being utilized deprives others of having the honorable experience to be able to access opportunities, and then it is the excuses thereof, that is not even like in greater legitimacy, if you understand what I'm saying. So it has the aspect of where there are the incapacity to separate the professional scope from the personal scope when it comes to even serving in our operations as who we are in these spaces as government ministers as well too. Not bashing anyone in particular like that, because I have been actually paying attention to a fellow royal sister who has been sharing really much amazing truths to us. I myself am honored to even come across her truth and her works and operations, because yes, I'm saying yes, these are the things we need to know of, and my contributions as well has been to introduce the Trinitarian Order, because I know for sure that this is what is going to protect us, the living being, the live living being, and our sovereignty as nationals of a nation. So it is simply just that, and I do hope that we are able to, continue to pay attention to it, read into it, and as I go, I would always do my best to expand on what its representation is against the corporate sanctions and colonization of what democracy has imposed on us, as we are the republic of our nations. All right, my loves, thank you for asking.